So why people have phobias or how they develop, there are many different ways. I'll just tell you two that are most common. The first one is by observation, what we call observational learning. So let's say you're a small child and there's a spider and your mom start like freaking out. Like you see the spider, and as a young child, you might not understand what's going on. But what you see is there's a spider and here's mom freaking out. And then you, by observing this reaction, will also then do the same. That might not develop into a phobia, but that might be the start, right? You're going to be scared of the spider. The other one is by classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is learning by association. So if something bad happens, so let's say, I don't know, you fall in the stair and you hurt yourself, okay? But in the stairs, there was a spider. So now you associate the spider with getting hurt and you're scared.
My name is Reem. I'm 19 years old. I'm in Arts, Letters and Communications, and I have a fear of mushrooms.
Hi, my name is Matthew O'Connor. I'm 18. My field of study is ALC Media, and my fear is clowns.
Daniel Charbonneau. I am 19 years old, and I study in ALC Media, and I have a terrible fear of blood.
I realized it was more of a fear when it was actually in like elementary school.
2 years ago.
I've always known I've been terrified of blood. Blood in hospitals mostly.
There was a clown that came to school, and I got really freaked out by that. So I couldn't even look at the clown or talk to him or anything.
Yeah, so I was standing in my backyard taking pictures of my tree, and I kind of looked down and I see that there's mushrooms everywhere, like the little ones and there are big ones, and I just kind of stood there not knowing what to do.
I was playing tennis with my dad, and I decided to jump the net for some stupid reason. So when I did that, I ended up getting my foot caught and cutting my knee a little bit. And when I saw the blood, I fainted. My dad thought I was being a big wimp.
The easiest one, we call this desensitization. We're going to create a hierarchy of fear. So what would be the less scary for you in relation to playing? So it might be looking at a picture of a cartoon of a plane. Okay, not even a real plane, just a cartoon. Okay, then it would be looking at a picture of a real plane. And then might be to drive by the airport. And then it might be to go in the airport. So you see, we're getting closer and closer to the plane. And what we're going to do, the therapist, we're going to practice some deep breathing together. So we're going to make sure that we can train you to have a calm response. So we're going to do either deep breathing. There are different techniques we can do. And then we're going to associate this calm reaction with what you fear, the plane. Then we're going to move to the next step. Okay, a book with real planes. And at first you might want to close that book and it's okay, remember your deep breathing. We're going to have this calm response and we look at the book. Once you're calm with the book, then we go to the airport. So we're going to drive in the car and as many times as needed doing your deep breathing until you can look at the airport and be calm. The flooding is you have to face your fear head on. There's no hierarchy. You go to the max point from the get-go, but you need to remain in contact with what scares you. Because usually what people do is they avoid it. And then it just reinforces their fear. But you need a technique for this. Remain in contact with that object of fear until your anxiety response goes down.
Alright, so I just finished the week 1 of my phobia exercises.
Alright, so I finished my first week.
Hi, so for my exercise this week, I was given
the mushroom PowerPoint pictures to look at.
I have to say I think it was pretty successful. I had 10 pictures to look at, and I was able to get through all of them except the last one in the first attempt.
I started off feeling very nervous as I didn't know that it was gonna be a cartoon picture, the first slide. So the first slide wasn't that bad. I looked at it while still listening to the music. It didn't give me any anxiety.
Just a picture of a finger with blood on it. I did not get anxious at all. Actually, I was pretty surprised with how I did generally. Then again, when I saw someone in person actually bleeding from their finger, my stomach kind of flipped a little bit.
So the one that got me was the last one here. I'll show it to you.
So, but I decided to challenge myself to go to the 7th picture, and that's when I put my hand in front of my cell phone because my anxiety level was, let's say, 7 on 10.
Yeah, so that one got to me. That one was really scary. The others they did make me feel anxious. I think that one pushed it over the edge. Then I noticed a big difference on my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th time, because I did the breathing exercises. That really helped in between each attempt.
I don't think if the pictures are all similar to this one, I shouldn't have an issue getting through it.
So I'm pretty confident with how this exercise is going, mostly because of the breathing exercises and the relaxation music.
Just judging by today, I think the breathing exercises and listening to the relaxing soundtrack will kind of ease the anxiety I have when looking at blood.
I'm excited to see what happens next week, to see if my progress carries over, or if it just gets kind of erased from my mind, and if I still feel the same way about the pictures. Hopefully I don't.
But I guess we'll see next week and see if it actually helps.
I just think they don't understand that it's a disorder. Because I think if you've never experienced phobia, or if you haven't learned about phobia, your point of reference is your own fear. I mean, we all have fears, right? They know it's not rational. They understand that it makes no sense that they're scared of such a small spider, or that they might be so scared of cats that they can't even walk on the street if they see one. It doesn't make sense, right? It really doesn't make sense. So I think it's why it's difficult to understand. But the more you read about it, or if you take a class intro psychology that explains to you mental health, then you start understanding that those people are not weak. It's not that they want to create problem. It's really, they can't help it, that fear.
I think my parents and my sister probably know I dislike them. I don't know if they know how strong it actually was and kind of is right now. But
yeah, my family knows about my fear of blood. If you were to talk to them, they'd probably laugh about it.
My friends think it's funny, so they laugh. My mom understands that, she thinks it's weird. She doesn't really understand it, as if you're telling her I'm afraid of heights, but still she respects that.
All right, guys. So it's week 2.
So this week I did the same thing as last week, but in a longer period of time. So I started off with slide number 7, which was where I stopped last week.
Yeah, I got stuck on this one here.
And I am proud to say that I've gone through slide 11. I was gonna push myself and go to slide 12, and that, as I opened it, no.
Not a fan. I don't like that one. I think in general, it's probably just the facial expression and the eyebrows and everything.
A little further in, I've gotten to slide number 7, and I had to stop there. I'll show you why. Yeah, I was doing super good up until here, but I'm just I'm not ready to go any further past this one. This one really flipped my stomach.
I think it was too much because now it's starting to be mushroom in the field, which is like my worst thing to look at. But I am proud of myself that I went through these slides without feeling as much anxious as I would have been last time. The first time I had no idea what I'm about to look at, so that's why I was kind of anxious. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see later in the week if I can get to the last one. Hopefully I can. And hopefully I can look at it without stopping. So we'll see.
Alright, so it's the end of the week, and I've been doing the exercises once again.
Alright, so I just did the third one total, second week.
Last time I got to slide number 7 with the big gash in the hand, and today I went ahead and looked at that picture for about 20 minutes with the breathing exercises, and I think by the end of next week I should be able to get past slide number 7.
This one went better. I was able to get to the end, but I did have to stop at the last one, and the last one was so bad. I had to stop at this one.
But still today I'm a little iffy, and I'm not really excited to go forward.
I think the huge difference is that one's just meant to be creepy, I'm pretty sure. Just like the makeup and the way he's looking. I'm gonna turn off. Yeah. So that one, I hated that one. That one was not fun. Seeing that was the last one for this week, I'm nervous to see what the ones will be for next week. They'll be even more creepy.
Hopefully by the end of this upcoming week, we should be able to get further into the slides and hopefully conquer my fear.
Even when looking at all the different fears, usually we develop phobias about things that is related to our survival as a human species. So usually we don't develop phobias of butterflies, right? We don't develop phobias of things that are harmless to humans. Like usually the phobias develop about things that is somehow related to our survival. So for example, somebody who would lose a lot of blood, that's probably because they're dying, right? It's a bad thing. So no wonder why we don't like to see blood. For the clown, that's an interesting one, but I think a lot of clowns are kind of scary looking, right? And oftentimes, I don't know why, but parents get clowns to come to like kids' party when you're little, and most children have a bit of fear of strangers, right? And this clown doesn't look like anything. And mushroom, they are poisonous mushrooms, right? Like it's like snakes. There's poisonous snakes. There's poisonous spiders. So all of these kind of elements in our environment that in our evolutionary past could explain how as a species we could have died or not. Like usually this becomes part of our DNA. So we kind of predispose to have aversion towards those things.
I will feel happy. I don't know if I'm gonna like to eat them, like on my pizza, but I'm gonna not be afraid of them, so that's good.
Oh, I'll be pretty happy. I mean, it'll be a lot less embarrassing if I scrape and my knee starts bleeding and I don't faint than if I were to faint in front of, I don't know, like a crush or something. That wouldn't be too good.
I'd be happy. I don't know. It's like it hasn't disabled me too much. I mean, it's not like every corner you turn there's a clown there, but like, yeah, pretty good.
The example I can give is, let's say you have a phobia of plane and your sister tells you, I'm getting a destination wedding. We're going to Cuba for the wedding. And you're like, I can't go because you can't even look at a plane. You're so scared. So maybe you won't be able to go to your sister wedding, and your sister might be upset because she thinks, come on, just snap out of it. But you can't. When you have a phobia, it's a disorder. You can't snap out of it. You know it's irrational, but you just can't, and you need treatment.
So for this week's experiment, I was able to finish the whole PowerPoint of pictures of mushrooms.
So we are done with the exercises for these past 3 weeks. I've been looking at the PowerPoints.
Alright, so I just finished the last slideshow for the clowns, the scary clowns. I had to stop on the second one because this one just freaked me out.
I think what helped me with the whole experiment was the fact that I knew what to expect looking at other pictures, and the fact that I had to listen to relaxation music and do the relaxation exercise, and I was able to stop looking at the mushroom if it makes me anxious, calm myself down, do the relaxation exercises, so that really helped.
So I guess ultimately I did not achieve my goal in conquering my fear of blood.
I'm excited to see an actual clown, to actually see what my reaction is. Freak out, or if the breathing actually helped.
But I think I've come to terms a little bit with not freaking out as much, and I did better than I expected I would do.
I am so proud of myself that I got through the whole PowerPoint, because before the whole experiment, I would not be able to look at a picture of a mushroom online. If a person like surprises me with a picture, I would be disgusted, I would be anxious, and like my anxiety would just peak. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the next step is, and I'm excited to finally be able to say I got over my fear.
Thanks, Olivia.
I have a Tupperware with mushrooms. Okay. How do you feel about that?
Terrified. But like, I don't know. I don't know what is it about them that makes me not okay. I mean, it's better than before, because before when I used to look at a picture online, and that used to terrify me. And now I'm looking at them in real life and I'm okay. I want to try to touch it.